Mariners narrowly defeat the New York Yankees in a walk-off win. I'm going to break down this game as well as our rotation, which is absolutely rolling right now. Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me on Mariners Daily here. My name is Sam Edwards. Yeah, I'm sorry I missed yesterday. If you watch this daily, I really appreciate it. I just moved to a new apartment, so I didn't have any internet. So couldn't post an episode, but I'm back now, and hopefully we're gonna get a better looking setup than just a plain back wall and a uh twirly chair that is gonna distract me way too much while I record this. All right, guys, let's get into the recap here. 2-1 win versus the Yankees. Plenty to like, still stuff to dislike. Obviously, as always, it's baseball. It's just the way it is. Um, they finally get their record over 500. I say finally, it's beginning of the season. They're 3-2 on the season. Cole Young is kind of the stud here of this game. We're going to talk about Luis Castillo in a moment, but those are kind of the two studs of the game. But Cole Young, 3 for 4 with an RBI. He had a leadoff double in the seventh that they couldn't get anything done with. Donovan went 2 for 4. Overall, just great to see Donovan doing exactly what he's supposed to do at the top of the lineup, getting it done, and Young as well. I mean, he's doing what he's supposed to do at the bottom of the lineup, and that is just absolutely huge for this offense. As we can see, our stars go cold every once in a while. It's like nobody's just on, and we do, I think, have the lineup. Seeing that we can do this and seeing a guy like Cole Young step up when we need him to, that just is a world of difference, especially versus a lefty where we just aren't as good. As much as I love Rob Refsnyder, as much as I love to champion him and be like, he's a great under the radar signing, which I think he is, he's not. He's not a star, He's not a star through and through. A couple key moments to just like point at as like negatives before I go rant about how great our pitching has been. Canzone and Julio had back-to-back Ks in the fifth inning with men in scoring position, second and third, and Canzone and Julio could not get it done, which was very frustrating to watch. Rally could not come through in the beginning and then finally does come through with the walk-off hit in the end. Am I worried about Cal? Absolutely not. He is a stud hitter. We've always known the strikeouts are part of his game, and nobody ever expected him to perform as well as he did this past year. So let's take a breath. He's gonna be freaking fine, and yeah, let's just calm down a little bit, okay? He's gonna be fine. He's still our captain. He's still the leader of this team, running this rotation as well as he does. And speaking of the rotation, let's talk about it. Let's talk about Luis Castillo first. Now, I've been gone for a little while, so I haven't had a chance to talk about some of our other guys. I say been gone for a little while. The weekend, I wasn't able to even talk about the weekend, and I was off yesterday because I didn't have any internet. So it was like, okay, well, I want to talk about some other guys too, but let's talk about Luis Castillo first. Castillo dominated with his four seam fastball. And I don't think it's not like he's throwing any faster. So is it the shape of the pitch? Now shapes of pitches, as much of a nerd as I am about baseball, I don't understand like the horizontal, like HVAA, horizontal vertical break. I don't understand it yet, and I'm probably gonna have to deep dive it this season because it seems to be very important. Because I think it's one of the big reasons why his four seamer dominated this game. First off, overall, 6 innings pitched, shutout ball, 2 hits, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. Through the four seamer 59% of the time, got 13 whiffs on the pitch, 9 called strikes. That is a 39.3 CSW percentage for the start. Fantastic. Through the slider 33% of the time, and that's really all he needed. That pitch had 4 whiffs, 3 called strikes, not amazing. 21.9 called strike percentage. Did the job, did well enough. All he really needed was the four seamer dominating at the top of the zone. And I honestly think his control was a huge part of it as well. If you go look at the heat map, Pitcher List is my favorite website for looking up pitcher performance on a day-to-day basis. I think Baseball Savant also does a good job, but I feel like Pitcherless just does it a little bit better. And Nick Pollock, who runs that website, does a fantastic job of analysis. So if you want to get smarter, and I'm not cutting it for you, and you're okay, yeah, if you're okay with overall major league coverage, which is what Pitcherless does, yeah, Nick Pollock does a fantastic job. So I'd highly recommend going to pitcherless.com. They're fantastic. But Luis Castillo was fantastic this past last night, especially versus a Yankees lineup that is no slouch, man. I mean, it can be easy to discount starts at times throughout the season, but this first start for Castillo this year is just a great movement with the four seamer. Now, the question I ask in this, in this title is the old Castillo back? No. The old Castillo was, he was impressive because he could throw a high 90s fastball and then snap off the slider and changeup. And the changeup was like one of his best pitches. It was more of like the changeup and slider, It was like the slider would come up alongside the changeup because the changeup was so dominant. Long gone are those days. He threw two changeups in this start. So it's not like he was dominating. He did throw a sinker 5% of the time, threw five sinkers. So that was good. It had an 80% strike percentage, but he didn't need anything else besides his four seamer and his slider. It's all he needed. Two looks over 6 innings pitched. Like two different pitch looks, and that's it. We roll. And the four seamer location, like I said, top of the zone. He was getting those strike calls. He was getting it done. And yeah, and even despite the Yankees had a lot of challenge calls that went their way on balls and strikes, a lot of strikes were going Castillo's way, and they kept challenging them, and it kept working. CB Buckner was having a rough night behind the dish there. So shout out Castillo for still getting it done because I feel like that could be something that throws you off a little bit. Umpire ringing guys up and they challenge. They hit the top of the head there. And now Castillo's got to go back out and get the job done. And he did, man. I mean, only 2 hits, 2 walks, giving up 7 strikeouts over 6 shutout innings against the Yankees lineup, which, like I said, I mean, they were the best, arguably the best lineup last year. So they're still a great team, and this was a great start from Castillo. So really, really good to see. Emerson Hancock, my gosh, I haven't gotten a chance to talk about Emerson Hancock. What a start from him, man. What a freaking start. And I do just want to revel in this enjoyment first before we talk about like the realism of the situation here. Castillo coming into this season, I mean, I talked about him a lot. He has not performed well in his major league career so far. He hasn't looked amazing even throughout the minors. He's kind of a sinker slider guy in general. And then this past season was pretty much a lot of the same. The changeup performed pretty well for him last year, which is nice to see, but it didn't stop him from having over a 5 ERA. So, coming into this season with Miller down, it was like, okay, well, is Hancock going to make the roster? And if he does, I'd really prefer if he was in the bullpen and maybe Criswell would start in the rotation. So, like, Hancock's just never getting the opportunity, never getting the opportunity. And he did look better in spring training, but also, once again, it's spring training. It's like it looked like he was thrown faster. The sweeper looked a little special, and people were talking about him a lot. So it was easy to be like, okay, well, maybe, maybe there's something here. Maybe he could turn into something legit. Uh, but obviously I was holding my breath or wasn't really holding my breath. I was more just like, we'll see what we get. If he's passable, then great. Before Miller gets back, then okay, great. Then we've got a solid pitcher. But I'm not expecting anything. And I don't know what you guys thought. I didn't hear any, Hancock's gonna dominate, not the 6 shutout innings that he pitched. 1 walk given up, no hits, no runs, 9 strikeouts. Dude dominated. He absolutely killed it. And how did he do it? He threw a four-seamer and a sweeper. That was it, man. I mean, he threw the sinker 11% of the time as well, which was a quality pitch. He also sprinkled in the changeup and the cutter, but he didn't throw those very much, past 5% usage. So mainly the four seamer, 52% of the time. Threw it 93.5 miles an hour, so it's not even like a huge jump velocity wise. He got 9 whiffs on the pitch, 3 called strikes, 23.5 CSW percentage. Not amazing, but a 78 strike percentage is very good. Kept it in the zone and it didn't get crushed, surprisingly so. I've never known his four seamer to be that great. I think it was his control once again. I mean, I would say it was a similar start to Castillo's actually, where the four seamer dominates, and all he needs is like one other pitch to really add in a wrinkle, which was the sweeper. It's a nice slow sweeper, 77 miles an hour. He threw it 26% of the time, only had 3 whiffs, 3 called strikes, 24 CSW percentage, like, not amazing pitch whatsoever. It got the job done. It did well enough, which was so weird versus lefties. He definitely throws the four-seamer more versus lefties than he does, in general than versus righties, but my gosh, I was expecting to see the changeup have more action, and it didn't. He throws the changeup majority of the time versus lefties, and he threw it 5% this game. He threw the cutter 5%, which I would say is another pitch that you would use to opposite-handed batters, but just four-seamer, sweeper 26% of the time, and then the sinker 11% of the time, and that's all he needed. Sinker had a decent strike percentage. It did well enough. This is four-seamer location, and that is it, man. That is, like, really all he needed. It's not even like the sweeper dominated or anything. So, I think seeing this, it's like I'm very happy for him. Same thing with Castillo. Very happy for him. It is not I don't think I don't know if a corner has necessarily been turned yet. Now with Castillo, we've seen starts like this, and we've seen him dip back down. With Hancock, we've never seen a start like this before. In my memory, I can't remember 6 shutout innings, 9 Ks in the majors. Can't remember it. So he's he's an interesting one. Maybe the four seamer has taken a turn. 9 whiffs is good. Yeah, 9 whiffs is really good on the four-seamer, so I don't know, he's throwing at the top of the zone, he's getting the job done. I'm super happy for him. He's going against the Angels later this week. I'm excited. He's a guy to watch, it's exciting. It's exciting for him. I'm so happy that he had this performance, that he's doing well, and, yeah, so we'll wait and see, but I'm not ready to predict anything. I'm not ready to say that he's not the same pitcher, or that he is, made a turn, you know? I'm not gonna say he's the same pitcher or that he's made a turn. I'm not gonna say either one. It's one start. This is baseball. Anything can happen. So let's take a breath and just enjoy the ride while it happens. We'll see what happens next start. Yeah, finally, I did just want to talk about the rotation just as a whole. We are absolutely rolling right now. I talked about Hancock. I talked about Castillo. I talked about Gilbert last week on opening day. Only 5 1/3 innings pitched, still looked good enough, was keeping the splitter down, which is so important, keeping the four seamer up. We know he's going to dominate when he's on the field. And yeah, I mean, this rotation is just freaking stupid good. Two other guys I haven't talked about yet this season. George Kirby with a great start, 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, and then Brian Wu with 6 innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 9 strikeouts. Both guys looking great. It's hard not to feel really good about this team, man. And even with our stars not performing at the level that we expected, Cal obviously with 8 straight strikeouts to start the season finally gets a single up the middle. Like, there's plenty of problems. There's plenty of problems on the team. We are not a perfect team, but I we are molding, we are melding together, and we are a fairly complete team. And it's going to be a big test to see if our offense can score enough. We had those key moments in yesterday's game where Canzone and Julio strike out to back with men on second and third. This is a moment where you need to, we got to the bullpen. Let's go. We broke the starter. Weathers looked good, and we got him out in the 5th inning. Like, get it done, baby. Like, come on. And yeah, they just couldn't get it done. So listen, there's gonna be problems. There's gonna be plenty of problems throughout the season. But I think this offense is pretty complete enough that we're gonna be able to get it done. And once we get rolling on the offensive side, I think it's going to be tough to beat the Mariners. And I don't think we're too far out from that. We're only 5 games in. Guys, lock in on the show. Freaking subscribe if you want daily Mariners content. I should have Wi Fi for the foreseeable future, so we should have consistent episodes going forward. Thank you so much for being here with me, and I'll see you back tomorrow. Have a good one.